What's up, guys? Welcome back to Mikey Yourself. This week we're going to create a little something to help us out while we work on another project and really give ourselves a little bit of options. I'll explain here in a minute. All right, guys, before we jump into this project, I just want to say thank you to our sponsor, Sur & Vega Audio Products. Check them out for all your audio needs. They've got amazing products. They've been around forever. Awesome team, awesome support. Check them out. Don't forget to use promo code MikeItYourself. Save yourself some money. All right, so what's this week's video going to be about? I am going to be upgrading the amplifier on the 2017 Roadglide, and I want to be able to remove the turbo pack when I want, and I can kind of do that now, but I have more wires because one of the amplifiers I do have is in the actual turbo pack, and that's what powers up those two rear speakers. That's going to end up going away. That's going to be in another video. But in the meantime, I want to be able to take the turbo pack off and store it somewhere. So if you've done any kind of research on this, you know that they make the turbo pack wall mount brackets. They're great looking. They do its job. They typically sit vertical or horizontal. So if you don't have a lot of space, that thing's going to stick out a lot. So depending on your situation, it may get in the way. I'm looking for a solution that's going to be a little bit better as far as how much it pokes out. And I want to do it for cheaper. If you've done it, again, any research on it, you know that the cost of those brackets is about $100. And I'm going to create a wall mount, and I'm not the one who created it, but I'm going to build it for under $30. So actually it was about $25 to be closer to the number. And what we're going to use as far as hardware, we're going to use some threaded rod. So this is 3/8 threaded rod, a couple of eye lag bolts, and some silicone tubing. So let's go ahead. Let me show you how we're going to mount this up, and then we'll get into it. All right, so to kick things off, it's pretty simple. Those threaded rods are 2 feet wide, which is way more than you need as far as width. But the reason you get them 2 feet is that way they will span across your studs in your wall. So we're going to put a hole in each stud, and we're going to throw a lag bolt in there and throw a rod across. So we'll start with the top ones, and then we're going to double check our measurement for the bottom ones just to make sure we're on par. I went ahead and I drew some level lines on the wall just to make sure that I try to make it as level as possible. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. All right, so our first hole's made. We'll go ahead and throw some lag bolts in there, tighten them down a little bit, and be able to put that first rod through. All right, guys, so we're putting the eye lag bolts in, and if you notice, the ones I got are really long. They got a really long shank or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if it says, yeah, that's a 16-inch. And the reason I got it so long is that way I don't have to worry about putting a 2x4 or any kind of wood to get it away from the wall. These are strong enough, they're in well enough where it'll be strong enough to hold the turbo pack. Now I'm not going to hang it fully loaded like with stuff in it, it'll be empty. So the only weight is really the turbo pack itself, and then the speakers that are in the pods that are not very heavy. So yeah, so that's all you want to do is just go ahead and use those, put those in. And I know that if you have I think a hook shank or hook bolt, I can't think of the name of it, you could attach that to your drill gun and use that to spin these. If you're like me and you don't have that, you can just use a screwdriver and just poke that through and use that to help you tighten your bolt down. And then we'll measure, just make sure we're pretty close as far as depth in the wall. And if you find that it's hard, use a longer screwdriver to give yourself some more leverage and being able to turn that. Make your life a little bit easier. All right, so I'm gonna just measure this real quick, make sure we're sticking out about the same, and then we'll move over to getting that first rod in. All right, so now that we got our lag bolts in, we're gonna put our rod through, and then what I'm gonna do is just mark it. And I've measured to make sure I'm kind of, pretty close to center, even on both sides. And the reason I'm marking it is because we're gonna put our tubing, and I just wanna know how much tubing. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. Really, you wanna, as long as you cover the majority of the inside here, you're good. And that's just to kind of protect like the little rubber shoulder or whatever you wanna call it. That's part of that tour pack. And then on the ends, granted, you probably won't be putting anything up here, but if you did, you rub against that. It's pretty coarse, so you wouldn't wanna destroy whatever it is you had in your hand. So now that we got that marked off, we'll cut the tube. We're gonna put a nut on here along a washer, so that way it keeps it from sliding back and forth, and that'll lock it in place. And then we'll be able to test fit. We're gonna use a backrest first, since it's the same mounting surface, just to make sure our measurements are where it needs to be. All right, let's see if I can figure this out easily. So we've got our tubing here cut. I got a nut on each side that'll kind of hold everything together. The tubing fits on super snug, so you ain't got to worry about that moving around really. So what we're gonna do is, let's see if we can squeeze that through there. And we can. And then we're gonna get that through. Now the real trick is gonna be, can I put washers on the inside, or am I gonna stuck only being able to do washers on the outside, which I think that's probably gonna be the deal, is it'll just be washers on the outside, because I wouldn't be able to put these on. Like, even if I slide that back, put that one on, then I'm gonna be stuck. I won't be able to go anywhere that way to be able to put this second one on. So washers on the outside it is. Just kind of hold it all in place. We're gonna get 2 more nuts. And honestly, probably get away without even having to put the inner nuts. I think we'll probably try that on the second bar. I think it might be a waste. I think with the combination of the tubing and then this outer stuff, probably be just fine. It's all a learning experience. All right, so we got that first bar on. Let's go ahead and put the tube ends on there. And there we go. So now we can check to see how this is going to mount. Now for me, the way I want to do it is I want to mount it that way. And then that way it'll click in here. So what I want to do is make sure that this aligns in the right spot, right? So definitely got a ton of space up here. And grab a pencil. What I can do is, while I hold this up here, kind of mark off about where I think we need it. Actually got to keep in mind too that, so I was just swinging it to the wall, which is not a good thing to try to do because it's going to throw the measurement off, right? Angles mess with the distance. So I got my measurement there. So I'm going to figure out what that is, add it to the other side, and then make sure I got a nice level line. So we're going to go from that wall. Well, let's see here. It's about half an inch, so about half an inch. All right, so let's get our level here. All right, so it's a drill point. That'll be a drill point. And we just repeat the process, and then we should be able to hang something on it. So I'm not gonna bore you with doing just that. I am gonna just, like I said, I'm gonna try it without the internet. I don't feel like this added the value that I was hoping for. In fact, I was hoping that I would have washers on the inside, but now that I can see when I tighten this up, you really don't need it. That was just me trying to overcompensate. Oh well, it's up there. Moving on, let's get that next thing in there. All right, so we got them both up. I'm gonna go ahead and try this out using our backrest. Now, in typical Mike fashion, I rushed into this and didn't think about, do I have enough clearance to the ceiling for my tour pack? Didn't think that through. So I may have to lower this upper bar down, but that's okay because I could just measure the distance there, and I have some spare holes just in case I ever need them. Who doesn't need that? So we'll see. All right, let's go ahead and go there. Then there you go. So it's holding it. I mean, I wouldn't write home about it, right? Pretty simple setup. So now the real trick is, will it hold a tour pack? Now, just to be clear about the specs on this, the other guys that I watched who put these together, they used 3/8 rods. I don't know why they didn't go with bigger. I'm looking at this, you could probably go maybe just a tad bit larger. I think you're fine with 3/8. And then as far as the width, like I said, the whole point of it is just so you can fit it across the two studs. So let me go ahead and pull off my tour pack and let's see if it sticks. All right, guys, so moment of truth here. I know I'm doing this opposite of how I put the backrest on, but that's because I need the support. So just want to make sure the locks are where they need to be. And then lock them down, I guess. All right, it's on there. I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't the most easy thing to do. I mean, this thing is pretty awkward just to hold in itself, but it's up there. Definitely gonna need a step stool to get it down, and to be honest, I'm not quite sure how much space I've saved if I versus had I mounted it horizontally. Let's see if I can get a quick measurement here. So a horizontal measurement would have been about 30 inches. And right now so maybe 6 inches less. So it does save a little bit of space. Not huge amounts, but you know, it's something, especially if you ain't got much to work with in the first place. So let me get you kind of a side view so you can see a little bit better the mounting. So there you go. That's how it's all hooked up, and I feel very comfortable. I'm not worried about it coming loose or anything like that. I mean, I can wiggle that pretty good. These lag bolts, they hold like, I want to say it's like 1,700 pounds or something silly like that. It's some large amount. Let me see here if I can find one. I'm a liar. It's actually 175 pounds. I was pretty close. I was only off by like a 0. So there you go. And now I have the tour pack off. I've got to redo my wiring because I did have my camera attached to that pack. So I'm going to want to figure out like where I can also mount my camera for the rear view, which was one of the problems I had when I moved my display. I'll probably stick with the lower antenna. All right, guys, so not an ooh-ah thing. I mean, it's a rack. Other people have done it. I did have some questions about kind of the products they had listed because nobody really said why. So with the bar, the 3/8, it looks like it's probably the right size. It looks, when you go and buy it, it seems a little thin, but once you put that silicone tubing over it, it does make it a little bit wider diameter, which fits a little bit better in the mount for your tour pack. So I guess that kind of makes sense. As far as the eyelet or the eye lag bolts go, the video I saw, or one of the videos that had the parts listed, they had recommended 3/8 for those, but the eyelet to it was huge. So it didn't jive for me. So I just went with the smaller one. As long as you get that distance, right? Like you want to get away from that wall. And even if you end up having to get shorter ones, if you put a 2x4 up on the wall, just to get your tour pack away from the wall a little bit, that'll work out just fine too. And then as far as the bolts and the washers go, you only have to do them on the outside. You know, trying to do one, you can't even get them in the inside unless you don't do the tubing. So that was a total fail on my part, or at least I was overthinking it, whatever. Do the outside ones. That way it keeps everything from shifting. If you're in California, we got earthquakes, so you probably want to make sure it doesn't move around on you. And yeah, under about 25 bucks with all the hardware, can't beat it. Beats paying 100 bucks, that's for sure. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you enjoy my content, I would love to have you become a member of our community. Share your thoughts, your ideas, your feedback. Please come. Constructive feedback, it's definitely welcomed. And until my next video does post, I hope to see you in the win.